Hey, everybody. We are going to be live here in just a minute. So I'm getting all my technology set up, checking everything. I've got some exciting breaking news to share with all of you. So hang tight. We'll get started in just a minute. Don't forget to say hello in the chat when you're there so I can recognize you. Super excited about our breaking news tonight. Today, this afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. We'll start in just a minute. We'll start in just a minute. Got my device going. I can actually see the comments in the chat for once. All right, who's excited for some good news? You know what? There's too much bad news going on in the world today. And at CBF, we want to bring you good news. So super excited, just giving it a couple of more minutes to let everybody arrive. Hopefully you received an email or a text letting you know you need to be here live with us at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. How's your day going so far? I would love for you to post before we get started into the comments one word, just one word that represents how your day is going. It's Monday. I see it as the start of a brand new week. It's like a fresh start. Every Monday is a fresh start for a business owner. Now, for employees, Mondays are like, oh, bummer, the weekend is over. But for entrepreneurs, for business owners, Monday is the most exciting day of the week. It's the new start. I can make this week better than last week. I can do things this week and I have all week to get them done. That will help me reach my goals by the end of the month. So give me a one word how you're feeling. I see Debbie Ems is in here and she says she's feeling fantastic. I love seeing that. Who else is here? Hey, Kimberly, good to see you. We're going to start here in just a minute. Just want to give people time to jump in. Listen, if you guys are not receiving a text notification when I am going live, sometimes I go live to make an announcement. Sometimes I go live to talk about CBF Live coming up this week. I can't believe it. It's a nail biter for me. Sometimes I go live just to share you some free tips and advice that every residential cleaning business owner needs. Sorry, a lot of noise in the background. I had to mute it out. So make sure you are on my text notification service. It's super simple. Here's all you have to do. Somebody can type it into the chat or the comments if you've already done it. But just join my text service and we'll send you a text when I go live. And you send a text to 41242. That's it, 41242. Then type in keyword, one word, keyword, Debbie Live. Don't let your spell check separate it because it will try to do that and then it won't work. You won't be subscribed. So keyword Debbie Live and the text notification phone number is 41242. All right, we are starting off my breaking news today with one word from each one of you. It's Monday. It's the start of a new week for your business. One word that describes how you're feeling right now. I know my word right now is excited. I saw somebody type in fantastic. I see Yari typed in motivated. Let's see who else has joined us. Christina says fabulous. I love it. All these positive words. Pretty stinking exciting. Hopeful. Christina, that is such a great way to feel, right? It doesn't mean everything is perfect. It doesn't mean everything is great right this minute, but we are hopeful. So that's a great word. All right. Are you guys ready for me to stop stalling and start talking? I've been so excited about making this announcement. And I've kind of been waiting a while because we've been doing a lot of promotions around CBF Live coming up. And can you believe it? It's this Thursday and Friday. Like I keep thinking, okay, it's in another week or two, but no, it's this week. I'm getting on an airplane tomorrow to travel to these amazing studios that we have rented. It's the same exact studios that Tony Robbins uses for his Unleash the Power Within virtual event. So we've rented the same studios to give you that same high quality experience. So you're not just like watching me sit behind my Zoom camera at a desk all day, listening and training. Although that has worked many, many times in the past. We've held lots of half day, full day, even 2 and 3 day conferences right here, just like this in front of Zoom. Because when the information is exactly what you need to help you get unstuck, you kind of don't care what the environment is. You're taking notes, you're learning, you're taking action, you're growing. But we wanted to make it extra special this year. So at the end of this breaking news, I will be sharing more with you. If you have not registered, please do not wait till it's too late. Please do not wait till you have to pay more. Please do not wait till our Platinum VIP runs out. So I'll talk to you a little bit more about CBF Live Virtual coming up this Thursday and Friday. And the good news is virtual. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I got to get a last minute plane ticket and book my hotel. Nope. You get to attend from the comfort of your home, your office, even your couch. So I'll tell you more about it. But is everybody excited? If you're ready for breaking news, type into the comments BN for breaking news. Type in the comments. If you're ready, if you're like, Debbie, stop talking and start telling. Stop talking and start sharing. If you're ready for the breaking news, type in BN for breaking news. I have been so excited about making this announcement, and I just wanted to wait for the perfect time. There we go. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, everybody. Sean can't wait. Awesome. So here's the breaking news. Super excited. Can't believe it. So live from the CBF headquarters and around the world, CBF is proud to announce new CBF coach. Drum roll, please. Type in ... Drum roll, please. Type in ... That's how we do drum roll around here virtually. We are proud to announce our new CBF coach, Coach Debbie Ems. All right, guys, give her some love, give her some attagirls, excitement, some hearts, whatever you can do in the comments, in the chat. Proud to announce new CBF coach, Debbie Ems. Now, let me go pull up my screen here and share a little bit, now that the secret is out, a little bit about Debbie Ems. And let's see if I can remember how to put that up on the stage. I've got to remove that. I have to, oops, what did I do? Here it is. Add it to the stage. There it is. Now you'll see her beautiful picture. And let me tell you a little bit about Debbie Ems. I wrote it down so I stay focused. You guys are going to be excited to hear a little bit more about her. Many of you don't know Debbie Ems, but you know our certified coach, Eric Ems. So she's the other half of that team. So Debbie Ems joined our CBF coaching team last month and will primarily focus on helping couples in business, along with her husband, Eric, and helping to enroll new CBF members. So if you've been thinking about joining CBF and you have a coaching call with somebody, there's a good chance it'll be with one of our other coaches or Coach Debbie Ems. Here's just a little bit about her that you may or may not know already. And I love getting to know her even more. And just reading what I put together today reminded me of how much Debbie Ems has to offer the CBF community. So number one, just like all of our CBF coaches, they can't be has-beens of the past, right? So Debbie Ems is the COO of her 7-figure residential cleaning company in Portland, Oregon, that she co-founded with her husband, Eric, who is also our CBF coach, Eric Ems. She built not just a strong culture, but a remote culture that actually works. A lot of people have tried that, didn't work. That actually works. Together, they run the business at a high level without being physically present day to day. You know what that means? They gave up their desk a long time ago, like I did more than a dozen years ago. So without being physically present, all while, get this, guys, all while living in the Riviera Maya, Mexico. Uh, Way different from when they discovered and joined CBF back in 2019. That wasn't the story of their business back then. Debbie says she's really become passionate about being a builder of people and culture inside their own business, and as well as helping others do the same in your business. Debbie is also the co-creator with husband Eric of the Cleaning Business Couples Blueprint. I am so proud of this program, and they've worked so hard to put it together. And this is where they help entrepreneurial couples in the residential cleaning industry build, number one, a shared vision, strengthen their relationship, and stay connected and in love while building a business together. You know, that is one of the hardest things when you do business together. And they've intentionally put together a program to help you stay connected and in love when you're in business with your life partner. They've been featured on the True Grime series with CBF coach Jeannie Henderson, and they host a monthly free webinar for couples in business. So there's no charge for that. And you just missed it. I believe it was last Thursday. So put it on your calendar when you see it promoted. Once a month, they do a free webinar for couples in business because they want to serve your needs and help you make the most of your business and your life. Debbie told me that her favorite role above everything else is being a mom to their 6 kids. That is truly her why in life. And Debbie, I can totally relate to that because that was my why. I didn't have 6 kids. I only had 2, so I'm a little bit behind. But my why was my family. That's why I worked so hard in the early days. That's why I cleaned houses for 8 years. And that's why I wanted to grow to the next level so that I could live the type of life and spend the time with my family and be able to afford the things that we want to give our families. Debbie Ems gave me permission to share that she's been walking through her own holistic cancer healing journey, and that journey has shaped so much of how she approaches life, business, and leading with faith. Debbie also launched Ride for a Reason to help raise funds for Cleaning for a Reason, which many of you are a part of Cleaning for a Reason. Type in a capital C in the comments if you are a part of Cleaning for a Reason. Well, it means more to her now than it ever has before since she's been in her own healing journey with cancer. But she raises funds for Cleaning for a Reason, and I can't wait to do more with her around this, which of course is a mission close to my heart since I founded Cleaning for a Reason. And I love working with people who have a passion for helping our organization grow. Debbie recently shared that she is so grateful and honored to be stepping into this new role in her life. So I hope each and every one of you will join me in welcoming Debbie Ems, our newest coach in the CBF coaching world. We have so many great coaches. In fact, I literally believe, and maybe I'm a little biased, but I think I can back it up with facts and numbers. We literally have the best residential cleaning business coaches you can possibly work with inside of CBF. They know their numbers. They know how to scale. They know how to grow. They've actually done in their business what they can help you do in your business. So she's joined the ranks of literally the best in the world of certified coaches for the residential cleaning industry. So we can't wait to see all the incredible things that Debbie Ems does and all the people that she impacts over the coming years. So welcome Debbie Ems, everybody, welcome her. Super excited to make this announcement. It's literally one of the most exciting things that I've been looking forward to announcing besides CBF Live Virtual. So let's step into CBF Live Virtual. Let me talk to you a little bit about CBF Live Virtual. So it is coming up this Thursday. So If you've ever heard about CBF Live in the past, some of you couldn't attend because you couldn't travel. You either had young children, small babies, couldn't afford it, couldn't leave your family, couldn't leave your business, whatever the reason. Some of you have never been able to attend CBF Live in person. They're always in Dallas. The last one we had in person was April 2025, where I announced that this year's 2026 CBF Live would be virtual instead of in. Did I say virtual by accident? It's always been in person, right? You had to travel. Had to get on a plane. You had to rent the hotel. You had to hire a babysitter or fly your mother-in-law in to watch the kids. You had to trust your business to people, whether it was ready or not. So it's always been hard for some people to attend our CBF Live in person. I may have said virtual by accident. So this year, I decided last year and announced it from stage that this year we would do CBF Live 2026 virtually, which means you get to attend anywhere you have Wi-Fi, sitting on the beach, sitting on your couch, attending from your home office, attending from your business office, wherever you want to attend. And if you have too many distractions, a noisy family, and a very disruptive business, go check into a hotel for those 2 days. Treat yourself to some alone time. We've included in your registration packet, which gets emailed to you once you register, some downloadable PDFs that you can print on cardstock, cut out, and they are your do not disturb door hangers. Now, I mean this seriously. I mean this seriously. The scariest thing for me about hosting CBF Live virtual is that it's easy to attend and it's easy to not attend. What crisis are you going to allow to get in your way after you registered, after you put it on your calendar, after you block off your whole day? And what crisis are you going to allow to creep into your life and go, not so fast, you're back in the field today. You have to miss CBF Live virtual, or not so fast, you have a crisis with a cleaner. You have to go do some crisis hiring or disciplinary action with a bad employee, or put out fires with disgruntled clients or first-time cleans that are not going well. So you have to go help out. You have to go do the house check. You have to go help clean, right? What crisis would you allow stopping you from attending CBF Live virtual this Thursday and Friday? My challenge to you is get registered now if you're not registered. Put it on your calendar right now, block it off, tell everyone you're not available, go underground, hide, pretend like you really are on vacation. There's nothing you can do about it. Your business will not collapse entirely. You may have some problems, but it will not collapse entirely if you miss for 2 days. Shoot, if you have to work from 6 p.m. till midnight to catch up, do that. But do not miss CBF Live Virtual simply because it's easy to miss. See, when you get on a plane and you fly to Dallas, whatever crisis happens the day you left or the day you get there, you can't do anything about it. And guess what? Your whole business didn't break. And so I want you to treat CBF Live this year the same way. Put it on your calendar, block off the time, make it your number one priority to attend. Print off the do not disturb door hangers. Our team made some really cool do not disturb door hangers. One of them says, do not disturb, I'm building my empire. You see, what I don't want you to do is think of this virtual event as do not disturb, I'm watching webinars. Okay, that doesn't sound very urgent, does it? A crisis could pull you away from a webinar. This is not a webinar. This could be the life-changing event that will determine what the next 10 years of your life and your business looks like. It could. And I know that might sound extreme to some of you, but ask anybody. In fact, our CBF members are here. Ask anybody, and CBF members, feel free to weigh in. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. Weigh in the comments if one of your, and probably it was your first CBF Live that you had to fly to Dallas to attend, was life-changing or not. And what if you had missed it because it was virtual and you were like, well, I have a crisis, I guess I'll have to miss, right? What if you had missed it? So if it was life-changing for you, it's going to be CBF members. Type in life-changing, because Here's how I want you to view this. You know, the registration is so cheap that it makes it easy for you to commit to and pay and miss because you didn't pay several $1,000s to attend like normal when you come to CBF Live in person. It didn't cost you several $1,000s, airfare, hotel, Ubers, expensive dinners out, all the tipping, and maybe even paying somebody to watch your dog or a sitter to watch your kids or whatever, all the thousands of dollars it normally costs you, right? Thank you guys. They're typing in life changing. I see Kathy is in the house. Absolutely life changing. Kathy's working on projects that she never would have worked on if she hadn't have joined CBF and fixed her business. That doesn't mean everything's been perfect ever since. Our businesses all go up and down. But the things that you guys are doing with the knowledge and the expertise that you've gained since joining CBF is life changing. It is transformational. And so back to what I was saying, it's easy to attend. It's $97. I mean, some of you spend more than that on Starbucks in a month. So I made it cheap enough so that anyone can attend and nobody can say, oh, I can't afford that, because of course you can. If it's a priority, you can. So it's cheap enough to attend, but it is also so cheap that you could give yourself permission to miss. If you wake up late, if you're tired, if you're thinking, wow, I cleared the day, it'd be kind of fun to go shopping, right? In other words, I want you to see this 2-day event as possibly the most transformational thing you can do for your business ever. If you're a CBF member, I want you to view attending this event as possibly the most transformational thing you can do over the next 9 months to reach your goals. Because if you're in CBF, you've already crushed ridiculous milestones since joining. You've already doubled or tripled or quadrupled or gotten out of the field, became a mop-free millionaire, got your green jacket, on your way to $1.5 million or 2 million, or you're already in the momentum program, or you're in your first year of CBF and you can't believe all the great changes you've made, right? But so it's easy for even a CBF member to go, I've heard all that before, right? No, you haven't. You have not heard it. I may have said it, but you haven't heard all of this before. And here's why. There is a new devil at every level. I could teach the exact, which I'm not, but I could teach the exact same curriculum from 2 years ago, CBF Live. Just pull up the old slides and teach it. And I promise you, every talk you hear, you will take away one golden nugget you missed the last time. Why? Because it didn't apply last time. Right? The last time you heard that, your business was only 400,000 in sales and it didn't really apply to you, but now it's 750,000 in sales and you're like, how did I miss that? Yeah, I'm not doing that. I need to do it. So for CBF members, it's equally easy for you to register because you're very supportive and you want to be there because it's exciting and you want to hear our coaches because you don't get to hear them teach as much as you hear me. And they are phenomenal. They have worked really hard at their talks for you. So it's easy for a CBF member to block off your calendar, but not commit. And I'm here to tell you, even studying for my talks, I mean, I wrote this stuff. I wrote this stuff. I teach this stuff all the time. Even studying for my talks, I cannot tell you how many times I texted or emailed my own personal team at my own cleaning company, which did $4.2 million last year. We're going to try to hit 4.5 this year. How many times I've texted or emailed my team to say, hey, are we doing this? Hey, I don't think we're doing this anymore. Hey, I don't think we're doing this very well now, right? Because there is a new devil at every level. And even if I've been studying and teaching this stuff, how to grow a residential cleaning business, how to scale big without giving up your life, I've been teaching it for almost 20 years now. In May, it'll be 20 years. I realized that I've never been a $4.5 million business before. And before last year, had never been a $4.2 million business before. And before the year before that, I had never been a $4 million business, right? And so there is a new devil at every level. And you hear different things when you're at a different level. And so for my CBF members, It's a $97 investment. This is going to be the cheapest CBF Live you've ever invested in. And I've yet to hear a single CBF member leave a CBF Live in-person event going, oh, that was a waste. I wish I didn't come. I heard things I already know. Like, that's never happened in the history of CBF. And I've been putting these conferences on, I think, about 8 years. Right? We fill the room at our live conferences where people spend thousands of dollars to attend, on airfare, hotel, over $600 in registration. We fill the room with 400 or 500 cleaning companies every year. And I've yet to have a single CBF member leave going, I wish I hadn't bothered. Everything I heard was the same old, same old. Now, you're not likely to hear something you've never heard in your life. You may have read it in a book 10 years ago, but it didn't make any sense. You had no idea how to apply that principle in your business because you weren't where you are today, right? This is why I reread books. This is why you reread the Bible. Like, you don't read the Bible once and go, okay, I'm good, I got it. No, you read the book of John over and over and over again. Why? Because every time we read it, we're like, yeah, I needed that. How did I miss that? Feel like I've never heard that before, or I'm sure not living that, or I'm sure not doing it, right? I'm not comparing my program to the Bible, but my point is I reread certain books. Some books are 20 years old, and I reread them on a regular basis. Why? Because I'm at a different level now than when I read it 5 years ago or 2 years ago or 10 years ago. I was in a different headspace, uh, maybe 2.5 years ago now, when I read The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. It was one of my favorite books at that time, right? My favorite books change all the time because it's the book I needed in that moment, right? And I need to drag that book out. I might have to reorder it, but I need to drag that book out or pull it up on my Audible books. Except my original copy had all kinds of notes that I'd written in the binders. I hope I salvaged it. But I was in a really terrible headspace when I read that book, The Road Less Stupid. And I have so many notes in that book of the takeaways that I took because I had a kind of a painful, somewhat chaotic leadership change a couple of years ago. And there were certain parts of that book that just resonated with me. This is the stupid mistake I won't make again, and blah, blah, blah. But I guarantee you, now that I've got a really solid leader in place and she's doing a phenomenal job, and we're back to growing healthy instead of growing fast, which there's a difference. We're growing fast, but we're growing healthy first, fast second. I believe when I reread that book, The Road Less Stupid, and if you haven't read that book, guys, go order it. You'll love it. The Road Less Stupid. When I reread that book, I promise you, I'm going to take away a whole different set of aha moments and takeaways. And the notes that I'll make in the margins and the highlights and the stars that I make in the book will be very different than when I read it 2 years ago and I was in pain and I was angry and frustrated and disgusted. And so here's what I want to say to each and every CBF member or CBF grads that have registered. We can't wait to welcome you back in the room at CBF Live. Here's what I really want to emphasize from CBF members to non-CBF members. And so here's the danger. We have a lot of people registered that are not a part of the CBF community. And I'm very excited about that. CBF members, those people need your encouragement at the CBF Live virtual event because we need your participation. Like, we need comments from people like Joanne Bracchio that says it was life-changing. When I ask questions, comments that you can contribute so that non-CBF members can look at your feedback and look at your comments and not think, oh, she's just making all this up, right? They can see, oh, Amy Smith is a real person who said CBF changed her life, right? Totally life-changing, as her words, right? Kathy Merchant said, I've been in CBF Live events for 5 years, hands down the best business decision I ever made. You know, Kathy even developed, as a result of being in CBF and really fine-tuning and tweaking and improving her business, she even developed a course that we now make available. We do a rev share with her. She can make some easy money out of just the passion of sharing a course with the whole world on how to build a short-term rental business and some of the pitfalls and struggles and things she had to learn the hard way. So there's so much more that CBF brings out of business owners. It's not always like a giant business. Some of them built their business to a certain size, they're content with that size, and now they're coaching, or they've built a course, or have other projects like some of our other coaches are working on. And so CBF is designed to pull the most out of you as a business owner. So if you're a CBF member or a CBF grad, I want to encourage you to commit to these 2 days. And if you're willing to commit, meaning I'm all in, Debbie, I'm all in. I want you to type into the comments right now, I'm all in. Type that in the comments, because what that means is, yep, I will not allow a distraction to take me away from this training for 2 days. I mean, here's the thing, guys. It's only 2 days. You don't have a day ahead for travel and a day after the event for travel, right? So normally our 3-day events are a minimum of 5 days for all of you. That's 5 days of hotel. That's tons of airfare. You can't carve out 2 days to say, I don't care what the crisis is. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't knock on the door and say, I know you're not here, but I have a question. You lay down the law and you commit, you be all in. It's only 2 days. Let me tell you something. If you have to leave our event, and when I say leave, I mean the proverbial leave. If you have to stop participating in the training, you don't get to go visit our sponsors in the exhibit hall, you miss Coach Beth's incredible talk, right? If you have to miss an hour, half a day, a full day, or the 2 days of CBF virtual that you blocked out, your business needs it more than you think, and your priorities are off. Your priorities are off. I've seen people leave CBF after a few years because they kind of allowed their business to go into decline. They got a little lazy, maybe delegated, and they let the ball drop. And the worst thing they could do is leave because they're embarrassed, right? It's like, no, stay. We've all fallen off the rails at one time or another, right? Stay, let us help you. And so if your business can't survive 2 days without you, stay in the CBF Live virtual event. Now, let me tell you a little bit about it for those of you who haven't seen all the ads, but you probably have, right? And type in, I'm all in. I'm seeing you guys typing in all in. That means you got to carve out your calendar. You got to tell everybody you're not home. You're not at work. In fact, if you have such a disruptive business that they can't leave you alone, just tell them you have a major situation you're dealing with, don't reach you. And then you stay home and work from your home office, whatever you need to do. I know back in the early days of my business, if I really had a deadline and a super project, I couldn't go into the office. I had to stay home and work on it because, it's always knock, knock. I know you're not here. Just one quick question. And one quick question turns into a 15-minute discussion and then a 30-minute involvement. And then I'm distracted, I'm frustrated, and I can't get back on track. Right? And so where was I? I digress. So if your business can't handle you missing 2 days, then you need this more than the business needs you for 2 days. You need it more. And I'm telling you, I know this to be true. So what if you lose a client? So what if you lose a cleaner? Okay. We're going to show you how to position your business to not let 2 days interfere with the rest of your life, interfere with your growth. I'm going to share a couple of concepts that I haven't shared publicly before that is going to blow your mind. It's some things that I've always taught, but I never figured out, oh, this is a framework. And I shared it with our pro group not too long ago, but it literally is a framework that changes everything, whether you're a CBF member or not. Even if you don't have the secret formula and all the strategies and playbooks and systems of CBF, this one concept could be worth the full 2 days. The other thing I'm going to be doing, which I don't think you'll ever see a coach do this, is I'm going to open up my profit and loss statement, show you my good year and a bad year. Profit and loss statement, right? There's a bad year where we lost a whole bunch of money, and that wasn't too long ago. I'll show it to you. There was a good year, which is a little more typical these days. That I want for you. I want for you to have good years every year. So especially those of you who are like, yeah, I don't know what happened. Things fell apart. I kind of started neglecting my business. I started wasting money. I've overhired on my leadership team and they're not producing enough. And boom, all of a sudden I'm operating in the red. Whether you're a CBF member or a grad or a non-CBF member, just looking at someone else's profit and loss statement that's specific to your industry, right? Like it's of no use for me to look at a profit and loss statement like they talk about in Profit First, which I believe in and teach those concepts. But the examples they give are construction business and Profit First. You have no idea how to apply that to residential. Or a commercial janitorial profit and loss statement is not going to look like my residential cleaning business. And those that don't know what they're doing and they have all the numbers mixed in, they mix in their janitorial, cleaning, labor, expenses, and revenue, and they mix it in with the residentials. No wonder you don't know what you make. No wonder you have no clue what your profit is. Right? So those are some things you haven't seen me do before, unless you were at the pro group this past January where I shared my profit and loss statement. I'm also going to show you a new Google sheet that I use to keep on top of all the numbers on a daily basis, which really equate to a weekly basis, from my team, from my COO. So I haven't been in my office in a long time, other than last Monday I was there for a meeting about the software program we're trying to get launched. But other than that, I haven't been at my office in months. So I have Zoom meetings, I have phone meetings, and I have this daily end of week reports that I review constantly. So I'm never in the dark about my business. I'm never in the dark about what our conversion rates are. Is it dropping? Are we crushing it? So I'll be sharing some of those things with you. Let me go look at a couple more titles to get you guys excited about attending. Because honestly, guys, 20, 30 years ago, well, probably 30, 35 years ago, I would have paid $10,000 to attend a 2-day event like this. And that's probably what it would have cost. I remember I attended a very generic entrepreneurial conference, which I believe it was 2 days. And I had to fly to Charlotte, North Carolina, and my mom met me. So she had started her cleaning business by then. And of course, I coached her and helped her start her cleaning business. And we both flew. And I remember, now this was back in the 90s, the registration was $1,000 per person. I think it was Entrepreneur magazine that put it on. It could have been Inc., but I kind of feel like it was Entrepreneur. I don't even know if that magazine's still around. But we both attended that event. So it cost me airfare, hotel, time away from my family, time away from my business, which was a broken mess back then, and $1,000 just for the registration ticket. And I've never forgotten that event because there were a couple of takeaways that changed my life. There were a couple of takeaways that changed the way I do business for the rest of the next 30 years. If you have a victim mentality instead of a victor mentality, you might have left that conference going, oh, brother, what a waste. I paid $1,000 and I only got 2 workshops that were worth my time. Not me. I'm like, that was a lot of money, but those 2 workshops change everything for me. Now, maybe the other 8 that I attended weren't that great. I remember walking out of a couple of them because they were not good at all and they didn't apply to me in any way, right? It was a generic. Right? It's generic entrepreneur magazine. So it's, financial planners and insurance agents and bankers and everybody and his brother attending that event. I'm pretty sure we were the only cleaning business owners attending that event back then. That's not what cleaning business owners did. They went out and grabbed a mop. Not me. I was trying to grow this thing and get myself out of the field. But I would say the majority of it didn't apply to me, or I had no idea how it would apply, right? They talked about, corporate culture and change management. And I'm like, change management? I can't even find a cleaner to show up, right? And so most of it did not apply, even though it was probably good for some people who attended. But I remember one particular talk that when I left, it has made me millions of dollars ever since. So I don't begrudge the $1,000 I spent on that registration back in the 90s. I'm grateful that now we can attend things virtually and not ever get on a plane, not ever have to spend money on a hotel. And so let me share a couple of, I'm going to be sharing some content around, building a power brand around alchemy. This is just an incredible concept that every time I studied this, and like the book is old as dirt that I got this information from, but every time I study it, I think of half a dozen things we could be doing now and we're not doing. And I've already written down a couple of ideas to share with my team after the event because I don't have time right now. Right? It's like, it's not that I've never studied these things. It isn't that I've never read the book, the things I'll be sharing with you. Of course, the way I share is specific to a cleaning industry. It's just that there's only so much time we can do to implement all the things that we learned. And sometimes we implement it later when we relearn it or we rehear it. I'm super excited about one of our sponsors, Sean Day, who will be talking about the ABCs of hiring. Hiring is the number one problem and challenge that residential cleaning business owners have. And I would dare say that any business owner has in the residential cleaning space. So can't wait to hear the lesson. He created a concept around building the bench and always be recruiting. And he's literally one of the best in the industry at constantly filling your funnel with job candidates. Really profound. I'll be talking about why your business is leaking profit. You know, I get so tired of people talking about how they built their business to $1 million, but they would never tell you how much they make. So here's the truth. I don't care how much you make. How much do you keep? And profit is that dirty little secret that nobody wants to talk about. Well, in CBF, we talk about it, and sometimes it's embarrassing. Sometimes it's humiliating. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, you're overspending. You've allowed people to make changes that are taking you backwards, right? So we're going to talk about profit and the profit leaks and where the revenue comes from and where what the overhead allocation should be. I mean, we're literally rolling up our sleeves and getting specific for the residential cleaning industry. Now, if you're a dentist or a lawyer that owns your own business, you'll probably get some good stuff, but this is designed specifically for the residential cleaning industry. I will share my beginning story, and many of you have heard it over and over again, but please bear with me as I share it. I won't take too long, but non-CBF members need to know where I started and how the heck did I get to build a $4 million self-running maid service that I still own. I didn't have to sell it or close it to become a coach, right? And then you will hear from our training panel. I'm really excited about this. So I promise you, I don't care how advanced you are. You might be in our elite program and you're over 2 million by now. You will pick up things that you guys are not doing anymore or have stopped doing, or somebody in your office changed as you've delegated more and more responsibilities around training. Every time I've evaluated my own training program, since I'm an absentee owner, I've got to audit it every now and then, at least in the past. I found all kinds of things people stopped doing, and that's why our training began to deteriorate. Why? Because the leadership had stopped doing it, or the leadership made a major change, or the leadership stopped following a certain process that is vital to the successful training and onboarding of new cleaners. So we've got an expert panel that will include Coach Beth. You guys know she is the queen of training at CBF. Amy Sardone, who owns Speed Cleaning, yours truly, daughter, and myself, to really discuss the power moves of training. And I don't care how big or small your business is, you need that panel. Let's see here. We'll be talking about cleaning for a reason. I'll be challenging each and every one of you to help with our new challenge for the year, the Count Me In Challenge. You'll be hearing from Juliana. I can't wait for you to hear this. This one talk could be the answer to why you can't spend 2 days away from your business. But Juliana is going to be sharing the steps that you need to take in order to be able to take a 2-week vacation uninterrupted. And she will share her story of how she literally told her family they can't go more than 2 hours from the business on vacation in case she had to drop everything and go run and rescue her company. Well, she's obviously learned since joining CBF. She's in the elite program. She's now our CBF Brazilian coach and just absolutely crushing it. Is her business perfect? No. Is my business perfect? No. But the good news is it doesn't have to be perfect to work, to grow, and to make you a lot of money. So you'll hear from Juliana I hate to start naming our coaches because I know I'll leave somebody out. Coach Eno, who leads our Hispanic community, but of course, he'll be teaching in English. He's going to be talking about how to manage your remote staff because most of you have tried and you have failed at managing your remote staff. We have a panel of experts. Our coaches will be talking about building wealth and those CEO level decisions. And I don't care if you don't feel like a CEO. Maybe you're out there cleaning every day. So you're like, I'm not a CEO, I'm a cleaner. If you own the business, you are the CEO. You're just not spending any time in the CEO seat, right? You're spending all your time in the house cleaner seat, or you're spending 50% of your time as a order taker, as an admin assistant, as a salesperson, and maybe 5% of your time as a CEO. And so we're going to be talking with our panel of experts about making CEO level decisions and building wealth. Wealth, I never thought was possible with a cleaning business, right? We never thought was possible. Anyway, so many topics. I just can't wait for you to hear each one of them. A couple of our coaches are not able to make it live this year, but they will be with us virtually, participating in on the sales team, helping people who want to join CBF or participating in the VIP Coffee with Coaches. So make sure you upgrade when you register to VIP and treat yourself. You know you deserve it, and it's dirt cheap. It's nothing like paying for an airfare and hotel. So just upgrade yourself to VIP. Take advantage of everything CBF Live Virtual has to offer. I know I've been going on, but as long as you're here, I'm going to keep talking. So let me just wrap this up by saying, and I started by saying it, I want to wrap by saying it. When something is not expensive, when something is easy, it's easy to do and easy not to do. And so I don't want you to see this 2 days as a $97 thing you can take or leave if something horrible doesn't distract you. I want you to see it as your $1 million opportunity. I want you to see this 2 days as your chance to earn millions of dollars in the future that you might not have otherwise by not solving the problems that are holding you back in your business. I want you to think about where you are today and how long have you been there. And this is for CBF members, this is for CBF grads, this is for non-members, because we all get stuck in a rut. All of us do. We're human. Nobody's perfect. But I want you to think about where you are today, right now. Think about it right now. You don't have to type it in, whether it's revenue or people, right? It's like, we're at, 50,000 a month, or we have the same 12 people that we had a year ago. I want you to think about where you are today. I want you to think about where were you a year ago. And if the needle hasn't moved much, I promise you, you need this. And I don't care if you're already in CBF or not. If the needle hasn't moved much, there is one talk that will make the whole 2 days worth it. I promise you. Guarantee it. I don't know which talk that is for you because it's different for every person in the room. But I want you to think about where are you today? So I think our sales for the month of March were 389,000, right? So it was really our best month ever. But what if 6 months from now, it's still 389 or 390 or 388 or 385, right? So I want you to think about where are you today and how long have you been there? Maybe you're at 40,000 a month. 42,000 a month would put you at about $500,000 a year, which is not bad, but that is still the valley of despair. Business is much harder at 500,000 a year than it is at 1 million. I promise you, I know. And I can tell you right now, at 4 million, it's way easier than it was at 1 million. And if you think that's not possible, I would lose my mind if I had to double this thing. It's taking so much of my life. It's only because you're doing it wrong. So think about where you are today. In fact, I want you to write it down on a sticky note. Let me get one of my sticky notes right here. I want you to write it down on a sticky note. Write down where you are today, right? You can write 10 employees. You can write 40,000 a month, 10,000 a month, whatever you write. Okay. And then I want you to think about how long have you been there? If you think about it, you're like, well, that's pretty much where I was all of last year. All of last year, I was pretty much averaging between 40 and 42,000 a month. Or pretty much all last year, I was averaging 10 employees. I might hit 12 and then 2 would quit. Or I might bump up to 13 and 2 would quit. And then I'd have 11 and then 1 more would quit. And then I'd have 10, right? So when you think about at what point have you been stuck where you're at today? And I want you to write that down. Has it been 6 months? Has it been 1 year? I talked to somebody not long ago who it had been 3 years stuck in the same place. 3 years. All right. In about 30 minutes, we got her unstuck because it was a concept. It was a principle. It was a failed system that she had stopped executing 3 years ago. And here's the thing. This person was really smart, right? This person has built an incredible business that anybody would be jealous of. But you cannot see the trees for the forest. When you're in it, you're too close to see it and fix it. That's why we need coaches. That's why we do our twice a month coaching calls for all CBF members, right? That's why we do our in-person events every single year coming up in September. That's why, because when you're too close to it, you're right there in the midst of the problems and the pain and the struggle and being stuck. And you don't even realize that it's one simple thing. I'm not saying easy, but I am saying simple in almost every case that I've identified. And I've yet to not be able to uncover the number one reason a person was stuck. I've yet. Go ahead and stump me. Right? And so I've got on my calendar to text her every month for the next 6 months just to see where she's at. And so far, with the first text she answered, she was already above where she was at for 3 years in a row. And I can't wait to check in with her at the end of this month and at the end of the next month. So here's my point, guys. For her, if she heard that for the very first time at CBF Live, the whole 2-day investment would have been worth to her hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, because that's how much money she did not add in revenue while she was stuck. So what does that look like for you? I don't know. It could be that your brand is stuck and now you've ended up competing with every Joe Blow that's popped up on Thumbtack and Home Advisor and Facebook that says, I clean houses and I'm dirt cheap, right? Maybe your brand is stuck. Nobody knows you. You've become obscure in your community. Why? Because you've gotten too busy. Or maybe your profits have just fallen apart. Or maybe you're one of those people that never had a profit model in the first place. You have no idea what your profits should be. You have no idea what your profits can be. You have no idea what the potential is and what it takes to finally pay yourself $100K, $200K, $300K a year. So hopefully I've said enough, or I've convinced you to show up for CBF Live Virtual. It's easy to miss and it's easy to attend. You have to make the decision. You have to make the commitment. I can't do it for you. Type in, I'm all in. If you didn't before and you're like, okay, Debbie, I'm all in, I will block it off. All right, guys, let me read a few comments. Let's see if I can bring the comments up on the stage. There we go. Yep, Teresa McConnell says, do it. Now that's a lady that's shown incredible progress since I met her. She was still cleaning, had a tiny business. Now she has a beautiful office. She's in the pros, and I know she'll be in the elites pretty soon. I did not wake up this morning and decide to be the cheapest. That's a Debbieism. Awesome. Thank you. You know what? I need to write that one down because I've forgotten about that one. And I'm about to publish my book. It's finished, but it's still being edited. But that is a good Debbieism. Let's see. I didn't wake up. I'll have to remind myself. Because that's funny. I was reviewing the Debbieisms for my book just this morning. Didn't wake up to be the cheapest. Oh, that's see, I forget some of my own Debbieisms. All right. Hello, Judith. Good to see you. All right. So Andrew says, I notified the staff that I'll be out of the office for 2 days. Awesome, Andrew. In fact, Andrew, you should treat yourself to a really nice hotel. Just check in, get room service for breakfast, take yourself out to dinner, and just treat yourself. I love Andrew. All right. Hello from Louisville, Kentucky. All right. What else here? Trying to pull up uh $4 million. Woman, you are on fire. I know. Here's what's really exciting, Kathy. It's exciting, but I'm mad. So Eno and Emma are going to pass me up. They're going to hit the 5 million mark sometime this year. So, but that's a good kind of mad, right? I need somebody to chase. It really helps because there's like almost nobody out there with a $5 million single location. Not many. Most of them are franchises. But Eno and Emma are going to hit the $5 million mark pretty much, knock on wood, this year. So our goal for this year is to hit the 4.5 million. We have a few more things that Christina is trying to work on, with the past year leadership team transition. But I think we'll get to our $4.5 million goal. And then hopefully by the end of 2028, we'll hit the 5 million. So now I'm chasing Eno and Emma. All right, let's see here. All right. Thank you, Marla. All in. I love it. Let's see if I missed anything. I see people that have said I'm all in. So guys, CBF Live, this is for you. Let me tell you something. I've worked hundreds of hours putting this together. Our coaches are flying to South Carolina so that you don't have to watch an event on some little Zoom screen with somebody sitting in an office or in a bedroom, right, with a messy background. So we have rented the studios that Tony Robbins uses. I will have this huge LED wall, huge gallery where I can see each one of your faces, or I actually will recognize you. I'll be like, hey, Kathy, hey, Teresa, right? Hey, Marla. So I'll be able to see you. I have a huge LED panel on either side of the gallery wall where I can read all the comments and the chats and the questions that you guys are asking, or the aha moments and the breakthroughs. So it's really an exciting environment. And our coaches will be there because they want to be able to speak to you live on stage instead of behind the camera, from home or from their office. And we plan to deliver an exceptional experience. We have hired a professional MC that used to be a game show host to help keep the event going. We've gamified the event. We're giving away prizes. We're tracking points and rewards for people that participate and show up. So don't think you can show up and then turn off your camera and walk away for 4 hours, because the system even tracks if you've even been there, if there's been any activity. So you're going to get points. It's going to be the coolest event you've ever attended virtually. And we don't do anything other than first class at CBF Live. We don't. And so it was expensive. It probably cost me as much as holding a live event at the end of the day. But I wanted to have an event where everybody could attend and didn't have the excuse of money or travel. So make sure you're there. I see Charles was here. Who else? Super excited. I do need your help. Those of you who are already registered, I need you to go out on your own timeline, if you have other people in the cleaning industry following you, and just say, I'm attending this residential cleaning business event. Who will attend with me? And keep up with people who are not registered. So Raquel is all in. Judith just signed a leaderboard for my new office. Just signed a leaderboard. So I don't know what that means, but whatever it is, it sounds really exciting. And all right, guys, so I need to get back to work. I still have more things to do. I never have enough time for these things, never. But I've spent hundreds of hours on the event for you, and our coaches have spent a ton of time. Our A team has spent an unbelievable amount of time in order to give you the best experience you could possibly have. Let me just leave you with this. This event, if you own a residential cleaning business, is the most important event you will attend this year. I promise you, other than CBF members who will get to come to CBF retreat in person. But if you own a residential cleaning business, this is the most important event you could attend. Whether you're in CBF, you're a grad, or you've never been a part of CBF, I promise you, you will take away pages and pages of notes that you can't wait to implement. And you will get one or two things that you're like, game changer. That's going to make me $1 million. And that's my prayer. And that's my goal. Can't wait to see you there. Take care, everybody. And congratulations on our breaking news. Coach Debbie Ems has joined the coaching team. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.